Hello, folks. I just wanted to bring you a market update for the greater Kansas City area that ended in August. So today is September 10th, 2025, and what we're going to share with you today is year to date or year over year for August 2025. And so I just hope these numbers help you see what's going on in the Kansas City housing market. And we'll also talk a little bit about rents as well. So let's start with rents just right off the bat before we go into a couple of these stats. What we're seeing at Astra Realty is that rents in the Johnson County area are kind of more of the same. We're getting some fairly decent increases in the rent, but nothing too dramatic. We're not going for the big push right now because we're beginning to see vacancy creep just ever so slightly and applications down a little bit. The In Missouri side, what we are seeing is very modest, if any, increases at all. So we've kind of hit a plateau there for right now as vacancy is significantly higher than in Johnson County, but not alarmingly. So again, I always say that the average used to be 10, and then it went to like 2, and people were wigging out when it got to 3 or 4. But we're around 5.5% right now, and that's not too bad when you talk about the long arc of time. So if you don't see as big of increases as you want, we could talk about your individual situation because neighborhood to neighborhood, it can vary. House to house, condition of the house, which I'm always talking about. The better condition your house, the better tenants you attract and the more they're willing to pay. So keep that deferred maintenance up. It protects your asset anyway. So that's what's going on in rents. Now let me show you what's going on in the sales world. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at all of the MLS, which is a huge geographic area. I don't know how many counties it takes in, but we're going to talk mostly about Jackson County, Missouri, which is Kansas City, and Johnson County, Kansas, which includes Olathe, Overland Park, Leawood, Fairway. And also, there's Platte County. We have houses in Platte County, Clay County. We have houses in Wyandotte County and Douglas County, Miami County in Kansas. But we're not, so this includes all of that. And when you pay attention to a couple of things here, on this side, we have August over August, 25 over 24. And over here, we have year to date, which I really like to concentrate on. But one of the things you're going to notice is average sales price across the MLS, especially outside of Jackson and Johnson, is up 7.3%. That's significant when we generally tell people that Kansas City appreciates on average 4 to 4.1%. But inflation is really creeping too. Core inflation from July 24 to July 25 is reported at 3.1%. So that quickly knocks down that 7.3 to 4.2. See it? So, good things are going on, but you want to pay attention to these things. So this is overall with average sales prices now. I mean, August was 388,639, but year to date is 382,064. So Snickers isn't a quarter anymore, and gas isn't $1 a gallon anymore, and housing prices just keep going up. Also, look what's happening to the days on market. It's increasing again. It was just a blink of an eye ago, it seems, that we were down around 20, 22 days. So that was less than a year ago. So pay attention to this. This is what's going on. I think we're still a bright spot, but listen, what happens on the coast always gets to Kansas City eventually. And if that jobs report from August is true, holy cow, these might change quite a bit. So just pay attention to that. There might be some real buying opportunities coming up, folks. Let's take a minute and look at Johnson County, Kansas. Johnson County, Kansas, when you look at it, we have a average sales price for August to August up 5.7. So maybe we have some acceleration. And from year to date, it's 4.8%. Again, take away 3.1, and that changes it to 1.7%. Changes the dynamic a little bit there, but pay attention. Also, look what's happening to our days on market. We actually, August, only up 1 day. I'll call that the same. I'll also call this the same, that 37 to 36. So Johnson County, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, has been, will remain the economic engine of Kansas City. It's just my feelings on the situation. And that's why I'm such a big believer in buying investment properties in Johnson County. I just believe, though, that when you buy in Johnson County, it's more of an appreciation with minimal cash flow gain. Whereas in Jackson County, it's more of a cash flow with some good appreciation as well. But so When you're looking to buy further investment properties in Kansas City, what we're talking about is, are you more for appreciation? Are you more for cash flow? And then how much you put down will help balance those two numbers. Your situation is always individualized, and we're happy to discuss that for you. Looking at Jackson County, Missouri, what we've got going over here is our average sale. Well, look at our closed sales is down a little bit. Our August over August is here, and then our year to date. So if you look at this, the average sales price has really accelerated much more than the year. So that kind of matches Johnson County there. And it's at 4.9. Take away the core inflation, you're at 1.7. So a little bit better than Johnson County, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, just slightly better, but not as good as the market as a whole. Not as good as the market as a whole. But as you pay attention here, 4.9 is nothing to sneeze at. Look at your days on market, minor changes, but changes nevertheless. So we want to pay attention to that. And then down here, these are just cool graphs that show you what's going on. And you can see that for Johnson County as well. And you can see Johnson County actually slowed a little bit as compared to the rest of the market. And maybe that's because a lot of buildings going now in Douglas and Miami County and that kind of thing. And then over here, as you can see, it just continues to trend on the upwards. So I just wanted to bring you a quick summary of rents and summary of what's going on in the housing market. You can freeze the frame and study those a little bit closer if you want to. You can always reach out, and I'm more than happy to give you a copy of these if that's what you would like. But my opinion is, until they start building houses that the average person can buy for under $350,000, and I don't see that happening anytime soon, not with everything that's going on in our economy or current political policies. If you're holding rental property right now, keep holding it. That's my 2 cents. You do what's right for you. We're here to help you if you want to buy or sell. But my personal opinion is keep holding. If you want to acquire more, it's always that, when's the best time to plant a tree? Well, 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant a tree is today. We could see a continual softening of the market, though, if that housing, if that jobs report is actually functional, and they do lower interest rates. But I always remind people, I want lower interest rates, lower interest rates, lower interest rates. Well, lower interest rates are almost always a result of an economy that's getting weaker somewhere. So as the general public has less ability to buy, maybe that's your opportunity if you're sitting on some cash or you want to move some assets in, more assets into real estate. It might be something you can look forward to this winter time. So if you want to talk about your situation, reach out to myself or Jimmy. We also have Luke and Tasha and Ashton and Ezra that are here to help you. But as a team, we monitor the markets very closely. And if you ever have questions about what's going on with the general market in Kansas City or your particular rental properties, pick up that phone and call us. We are happy to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I'm Chris Lindquist at Astra Realty.